Last week on the Lazy Scrapbooker Under Pressure, even though I got a lot more photos from Jeff, I stayed on track by completing 37 pages. With my expanded page count, this left me with 21 pages to complete in 3 days. Hi, I'm Donna Guest, the Lazy Scrapbooker and Creative Memories Advisor. Join me here as I plan, organize, and create a scrapbook to celebrate my husband's 25 years in the fire service. And I've got just 2 months to do it. Now let's see what happened this week in episode 10. So I had just 3 days to complete the final 21 pages and put on all the page protectors. How do you think I did? Let's find out. This morning, Jeff got home from his last 24-hour shift after 25 years. He's got one 12-hour shift to go, but I see he's brought home lots of items as he's cleaning out his office and his locker. Not that beach bag, though. That's mine. After putting the finishing touches on my episode 9 video, I came in to fill in some of the gaps in my albums. And by that, here are a couple of pictures that were added on the flash drive. And so I'm just putting in a peekaboo pocket. I'm going to be adding some letters that were missing now that I got my order in and just finishing up some things like that before I tackle new pages. Putting in all these missing letters, it is so satisfying. I hope I left enough room. Remember my fa la 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 mistake last episode? Well, guess what fixed it? The multi-tool. Between using the point and then the flat end, I was able to push those pieces of regular tape runner out of the way. This little tool is really a miracle. How many times did it take me to get this little tab right for this peekaboo pocket? Well, third time's a charm. The first one, I accidentally grabbed the wrong tape runner and I put regular tape on it, just ruining it. So that's trash. And the second one, I just punched all willy-nilly and didn't have enough paper. So there's kind of a bad edge. Honestly, when I folded it, it would have been okay, but who cares? I've got this one. It's perfect. Here's an example of where things just don't have to be symmetrical. It just really doesn't matter. And the reason that there is a different width of the black paper is because I used what I had. I don't even know the name of this collection. It's pretty old, but I had different sizes of these 3 sheets of paper. So I made it work and it looks pretty cool. I've just added a new element to the albums. I've added QR codes here and there where I could. So a couple of the fires were on the news, and so I could create a QR code to go to that YouTube video to watch the news report about the fire. I gotta say, that's next level. What's funny is when I went to find a certain video that I knew was out there, I accidentally stumbled across this one, and I didn't know if it was on Jeff's shift or not, but you know what I recognized when I looked at the date of the video? I recognized the date. I remember a date, and I had just done this page 1 page ago. Sometimes we have to improvise. So my plan for this had been what you see here. However, when I was doing this, I forgot which side of the page I was using and put tape runner, regular tape runner, all over the wrong side of the page, which then I transferred to this page over here, which is a little, it looks a little worn now. So all I'm going to do is, of course, cover up that tape runner with pictures, and the big fold that you see right here, I'm just going to put this right there. Problem solved. Here's the background for my next page, but I just have to say it is hard not to be able to use that. Look how fun that paper is. I can't even tell you what a struggle it was to get those letters just right. I did the tilty method so that they're, imperfect on purpose. You can't go wrong with tilting them, but just the spacing. Fortunately though, with the multi-tool and with this bronze shimmer cardstock, it was very easy to lift those stickers up, those Black Collegiate stickers up, and move them around. I have to admit, when I go to the Power Layout box and I pull out pages that have this Fast to Fab paper in it, I'm really excited and relieved because it's just so quick. So I highly recommend when we have these, and we don't have them for every collection, if you like it, snap it up because they make your scrapbooking so much easier. It's 1 o'clock in the morning and I have hit a wall, and apparently so has Nicholas. So let's see how I did tonight. So just working really late tonight, I got 10 pages done. I've only got 11 to go. It's Saturday night and all I've got left is tonight and tomorrow. So am I going to be able to do it? I think I am. It's already almost 9 o'clock. I did sleep in pretty late this morning because I was up so late last night. And then it was time to get ready and drive into the city for my friend Dean's birthday party, which was so great to see a lot of friends, and him, of course. Had a great time, had dinner with my sister afterwards, and then got home and then spent about 30 minutes upstairs sidetracked with the guys who were watching The Hangover, and I've seen it a dozen times and it's still funny. So I've got just 11 pages to go, maybe more if I want to get a jump on the retirement album and have that ready. I'm actually not going to have them sign the album. I'm going to have them sign little journaling boxes, lined paper that I'm going to cut apart, because I want to be able to put it on the page with a picture of that person. And if people start signing the pages all willy-nilly, that's not going to be able to happen. So I'll have that a little bit more organized. Now I'm going to get comfortable and get started working on the album. All right, let's get to work. When you're attaching triangles to a page, it's best to use a repositionable tape runner and a silicone mat or something like that, and put the tape runner on all 3 corners. You will be glad you did when it comes to putting on page protectors. To get lots of pictures on the pages, and when I don't have a lot of room for punches or really a need for a lot of embellishment, the block layout is my best friend, and that's always been my favorite scrapbooking layout. So if you've not done it or would like a good tutorial on it, I'm going to put the link both up in the right-hand corner, I think that works on your phone, and also in the description of this video to my block layout tutorial video. You won't be sorry. This one's for my sister Lori. Look, Lori, it's Eric Estrada. And she used to have a massive crush on him. Okay, I can't read my own handwriting. What is this date? It looks like fall of 201/5. Is that 2015? I don't know. So I'm working on these pages. I've already done 6 pages tonight, and Nathaniel just asked me, how's it going? And I said, well, I only have 5 pages left to do in the whole thing. And so it occurred to me as I looked up here onto my tracker that I didn't do my first page in this album until March the 4th. So it's less than 4 weeks that I've actually done the scrapbooking. And that, I knew that, but I didn't really think about it. And so that kind of surprised me. That's pretty fast. I can feel good about that. I took actually more time to organize and plan than I did to actually scrapbook the album, which I think for a project like this, that's how it should be. This photo cracks me up. It is from 4 years ago, and they were taking department photos, and he just for fun posed. We call it the Uncle Rico. If you ever saw Napoleon Dynamite, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's fantastic. I, of course, said, well, I'm having that for the album, and blew it up into an 8x10, and I'm putting it in a prominent location. Because guess what page this is? This is 162 scrapbook pages. I finished tonight. I did all 11 pages. It's about 1:30 a.m. right now, so it's about 3 hours. Again, that's not that fast, but I'm done. I am done. This is really, really heavy. It is obviously 2 albums worth. It could honestly be 3 albums worth, but I'm putting it in 2. So I know what I need to do tomorrow, and I may actually start on the retirement album, but this is a good feeling. So I can't decide if I want to go to bed because it's almost 2 o'clock, or if I want to stay up and start doing page protectors, because I am pumped and there is no one awake to celebrate this moment with me. Not even this guy. 162 pages. If I hadn't been so lazy last night, I would have walked all the way back down to the basement and grabbed my phone, which was still on the charger and still playing music at about 3 o'clock in the morning. And I just couldn't sleep, but I would have filmed some entries for this little video blog or scrapbook reality series, whatever you want to call it. I stayed up, turned on the TV, watched some of a movie, Tag, it's really good, and ate chips on the couch, which is against the rules, but I made the rules, so I figured it was okay. And then I made toast. And then I almost bought this broom that I saw. Helio air broom. I don't know what it's called, but it looked amazing at 3 o'clock in the morning. Then I finally came down, got my phone, turned all the lights off, and got ready for bed. I think my head hit the pillow at 4. It's Sunday afternoon, and I finished everything up last night, as you know, so this afternoon we're going to do page protectors. I do mean we. Nathaniel said he would help, which is cool. But first, I had to get outdoors. It's absolutely beautiful today, and I've been sitting for what feels like a month, and I just need to move. It's an absolutely beautiful day here in Georgia with the sun behind the clouds and the temperature of about maybe 72. It's been spring for only 10 days, so I fully expect to see 80 and 90 degrees very quickly. Spring doesn't last here long. Summer is coming. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this amazing weather and 2 miles of the ultimate playlist. Oh my gosh, I spoke too soon. I walked about 20 yards and the sun came out. It's already summer. So Nathaniel has nicely offered to help me with the page protectors, and I figured we'd come upstairs while he's watching the Braves game and do them up here. So I'm going to clean the floor, which is basically Nicholas's things, getting them out of the way, and give it a good sweep so that it's clean. I may even put a towel down for us to work on because I don't trust this broom. I should have brought that broom on TV last night at 3 a.m.
Chriselle got a full 5 innings. That's good for a pitcher.
Excellent.
Especially a starting pitcher.
So I'm here with Nathaniel watching the Braves game. Right now the Braves are winning 3-2, so he's pretty happy about that. And I'm going to show him how to put on a page protector, which will show, you know how to put on a page protector, of course, but in case you don't, I'll show you. Maybe you don't use Creative Memories albums, so we'll take a look at that. And I'm going to show a little trick that a lot of people like, because I'll tell you, years ago I played Family Feud at my retreat, and I surveyed 100 advisors, which is not hard to do using the Facebook page. And one of the questions was, what's your least favorite scrapbooking task? And the number 2 answer for their least favorite scrapbooking task was putting on page protectors. So most people don't like it. If you're wondering what was number 1, it was cleaning up. So that's fair. But the thing about a page protector, when I first saw these, I was like, I don't really like those. I don't want to use those, but you've got to use them because the purpose of a page protector is to protect it from like snagging with the page facing it, because we have so many little items on the pages, and also to protect your photographs, protect them from little dirty hands, you know, and anybody that's looking at the album, because they can wipe off very cleanly. So the regular way to put on a page protector, which is what I do, is start at the end that does not have the staples and just slide on there. But first, first I like to use one of these, and if you don't have one of these photo cloths to wipe the photos, wipe any smudges, especially on the glossy photos, I used to use a cotton ball. Those will work as well. And so you can see it's a bit of a struggle sometimes to get it on. This page doesn't have a lot of things on it, so you just have to slide it over the items and make sure you don't catch on anything. That one was a pretty easy one. Okay, that one's done. All right, and we'll just put them on this towel here. Now, to go to the next one, here's a trick that a lot of people like. Take just a file folder. Take a file folder and you put it right here. Okay? So it kind of protects it from snagging on all those things. So I'll take a page protector. I'm going to put it over the file folder. And you can tell I don't normally do this because I'm kind of like struggling with it. But a lot of people really say it's much easier. Because it does just, for the most part, oops, I snagged on one of my borders there. Slip down right over it. Look at that. That is pretty cool. I should do that more often. And then you just pull the file folder off and your page protector's done. So maybe he'll want to do it that way. That is, I gotta say, pretty easy. I know my customer and friend Shelly does that all the time, and she does a lot of scrapbooking, gets a lot of pages done. So I might have to start doing that because that was quicker, wasn't it? All right, so we're gonna keep going. Do you want to try one? I want to make sure we keep all these pages in order. And so then you put it in like this. Hey, maybe this is a great 2-person job. Here we go. That's a nice way to do it, with me holding it and you putting it on. Is that okay? That actually made it go even quicker. So that's what we'll do, and then we'll be able to keep all the pages in order. 3. All right, we'll keep going. Look at that! Yay! Good job, Nathaniel.
Thank you.
And that one's been wiped, so you can go ahead and put that on there. So some pages that we come to already have a page protector, which is a nice bonus. The reason they already have one is because they have peekaboo pockets, and I went ahead and put those page protectors on so that I can attach the peekaboo pocket. So done. So I figured, so if you've never done it this way, I'll give you a closer up look so Nathaniel's going to film me doing this. Here's the page without the page protector. We're going to take the folder, put it over the edge without the staples. Your staples are over here. And that's the edge that you put the page protector on. You can tell I have totally converted to this method because there's a lot of patches and things on this that's making it much easier. It's easy to slide the page protector on like this and boom, done. Or maybe the noise we make is woo, I'm not sure. So this happens every once in a while. You will find an ABC of some sort on your clothes. So fortunately, I don't have to look really hard because I see where I accidentally knocked it off and I can fix that. And done. All 162 pages, which is really 81 sheets, have page protectors on them. Excuse the mess behind me, it's quite a wreck in here, but here they are, weighing in at, any guesses? Any guesses? 15 pounds of pages. Honestly, which is good. I thought it was gonna be more, but that's good because a scrapbook should pretty much max out at 8 pounds, and this is 15 pounds for 2 scrapbooks, so that's pretty good. Years ago, when I first mentioned to Jeff about doing a scrapbook for him, and this was years ago, I gave him 2 choices for an album cover, either ruby red or true red. He looked at them both and he chose true red, but I had another idea. I'll still use that one, but I had another idea, and it's here. So first, let's take a look at what happened a few weeks ago. So one thing I want to do to make this album extra special for Jeff is to create a custom cover. And if you've ever watched my YouTube channel, of course, obviously, and seen this on my Facebook page, I've shared these from time to time. Here's one that I did for our trips to Las Vegas. Here's another one I bought off my sister Lori that she did for her trip to Egypt. And they really make a special cover. And I always say get the biggest bang for your buck because they're not cheap, and put one giant photo on the cover. And it's going to be a huge impact, as you can see here. And while I'm filming this and ordering this on March the 3rd, I'm not going to show this until episode 10, because I know Jeff watches every episode, of course, faithfully, and I don't want him to see this. This is one thing that I'd like to keep as a surprise. Since he obviously knows about the album, I'm going to make this cover a nice surprise for when he opens it. So here's what we do. You go to the website and you see I'm logged in, and then you're going to go to shop, then you're going to go to digital. So now we're going to scroll down and you see custom album cover, and yep, they are $69.50. Like I said, they're not cheap, but they are worth every penny. You can't get something more special than this, and it's printed on Creative Memories book cloth. So the price, it's totally worth it. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, you have to check here that you own or have permission to use the photos. Okay, got it. I do. Oh, before we go though, let me show you this. Creative Memories has kind of streamlined this process, and so the deadline is every other Sunday at 11:59 Central Time, and I'm in Eastern, thank goodness, so that is almost 1 a.m. for me. And I looked at this, I looked at the calendar, so you can click the shipping schedule right here, and of course it gives you examples for January, February. I scroll down, I calculated March, and guess what? Deadline is tonight. And when I say deadline, it means the deadline is Sunday, and they're going to ship it on Friday. So I could wait until March 17th and have it shipped the following Friday, but I felt like that was cutting it close in case there's any kind of delay with UPS, and I don't want to do that. So here I am at 11:39 at night. I am going to do this now so that I don't have to worry about it. And I should be able to do it because I already know what picture I'm putting on the cover, and I know what picture I'm putting on the back. Now I'm going to click Customize. So you have to name your product, and I'm going to name it MFD, that's the fire department, album cover, obviously. And the reason for that is every project that you do that's a digital creation, a custom creation, has to have a name, even if you're ordering photo prints. You'll be able to find it later in your section of the website called My Custom Products. So I'm going to hit Continue. All right, see, look how there's so many different choices here. Lots and lots of choices. I'm going to choose this one right up here for the photo cover, one photo. And now I'm going to go and upload a photo. So it put that there, it populated the front cover with it, and I'm going to add some text. Okay, I do want to put something on the back too. So I'm going to add another photo. So I had a little trouble finding the photo I do want to put on the back. So I'm bringing up another laptop that where I store my photos, so I'm going to look for it there. But while I do that, since I am on a time crunch and I now have an hour and 11 minutes to do this, won't take that long, I am going to work on the text over here. So it automatically populated with, with a text box right here. We're going to move that around, and we can do that by clicking transform and move it over here. I think I'm going to put it in white text here. And so I'm going to go ahead and type that in. And believe me, I'm coming over here to my other screen and double checking spelling. Yeah, I was totally spelling that wrong. Battalion has 2 T's and 1 L. I was completely wrong. That would have been quite the embarrassment. So I'm going to click on text over here, and then I can make some adjustments over here on the left. For example, I don't like that font. Not for this one. Now let's change the color. What if we put this down here? And then let's add a text box. So we can come up here. You're probably sitting at home going, no, don't do that size, make that one smaller. But I'm afraid this is weeks ago and it's too late. I'm going to go back and make this smaller. This is exhausting, isn't it? All right, so I think that looks really cool. I like that. He'll like that too. So I went to the fire department's website to double check the title, and sometimes they call him assistant chief, sometimes they call him battalion chief. So I just went upstairs and woke Jeff out of a deep sleep at midnight to ask him the question, if I were putting something on the spine of the album, would he rather have it say assistant chief or battalion chief? And he says battalion chief. That's how they pretty much refer to it. So I've got my answer now, and hopefully he has gone back to sleep. But this is due in 54 minutes now, so that was an emergency. So let's go ahead and work on the spine here. Volume 1. So I'm going to go to add photos right here, and we can make this bigger if we need to. Okay. We're going to make this as big as we can. Do we want to just make it the whole thing? I think we do. So I couldn't get it to fit properly, so I went over here to layout and just clicked this one right here. All right, and I can get rid of this title. I don't want the title. Delete. There we go. So now I just have a square photo. I couldn't make it square on my own, so when in doubt, just go over here to layout and it will help you out. That rhymes. All right, when in doubt, go to layout and it will help you out. All right, so now we're going to go to imported photos. Here it is. What a beautiful back of an album that's going to be. This looks fantastic. Let's save. And let's do a preview. Pretty good. All right, I'm going to add that to the cart. And it's only 12:27, so I've got about 32 minutes to spare. I feel so good. This is going to ship out on Friday. I'm going to get it, and I can't wait to see it. And I can't wait for you all to see it, but I've got to wait several episodes for that because right now it's just my little secret. Mine and Nathaniel's who walked through, and Nicholas who's sleeping in a box on my desk. I hope this gave you a nice tutorial about how to use the custom album process. I need to do a separate video on this. Now, are you ready to see it in person? It's good. So for volume 1, we have a custom album cover. Let's take it out of the plastic. Here's the front as I designed it, the spine, and the beautiful back cover. I love it. He hasn't seen it yet. He's going to love it. Just take a look at this beautiful book cloth. You can see the texture of the book cloth. If you're familiar with Creative Memories albums, you know the quality of that. This amazing photo is printed on the book cloth. I absolutely love it. And then, of course, the adorable back cover of this amazing photo from 2014. So I'll definitely do another one of these for volume 2, but I'm going to let him choose the photos. Since I chose these, I'll let him choose the 2 photos for volume number 2. And then I guess I'll use this True Red for album number 3 for the retirement. But I got to put this in something. I got to put I got to put volume 2 in something for tonight. So where can I find an album around here? Nathaniel and I wanted to surprise Jeff and visit the fire department one last time. His final shift was over at 8 p.m. The county dispatch sent a special message over the radio. Jeff got to have a great last dinner with his crew, and even the 2 guys who had taken the day off for Easter Sunday had come in to have dinner with him, which I thought was really special. We were so glad that he had a great last day at work and that we got to see him. And I had to bring the albums with me to show him and surprise him with the album cover, which he loved. It was wonderful to see him and the guys enjoying the albums just around the dinner table. So I was really, really happy about that. Now I don't have any video footage. I just enjoyed the moment and let him enjoy the moment. We got up bright and early on Monday, April 1st to attend Jeff's retirement breakfast at the Fire Museum, and it was not an April Fool's joke. There were at least 75 people in attendance. It was a wonderful turnout full of current firefighters and also a lot of the retired firefighters that he'd worked with in the past. Some really drove a long way. I was really impressed. It meant a lot to him. Jeff gave an amazing speech to everyone that was both funny and heartfelt. It was really, really wonderful. I was very impressed with him. I would give anything to have that recorded. Of course, it happened so quickly that I wasn't going to interrupt anything and say, hey, let me record this. I did not want to ruin that moment. I just enjoyed the moment, and I know he did as well. It was fabulous. So it lives rent-free right up here. So I know what you want to know is, what about the scrapbooks? So in Jeff's speech, he even mentioned them, talking about my labor of love of taking all the pictures and things that he had given me and putting them into these albums, and that we had brought them to share with everyone. And it was wonderful. He even mentioned that there are cards for people to sign if they want to do so, and they'd be included in the albums. So for 2 hours, those scrapbooks were on display and people were looking at them. Even after the ceremony, the breakfast was over and most of the people had left, we were still there and people were still looking at the scrapbooks. It was wonderful. They were talking about the photos, remembering different details, seeing themselves in there. It was every scrapbooker's dream. The outcome was everything I would have hoped for. Jeff felt so special on his big day, which he deserves, and I finished this project for him, and I know how much he appreciates it. I will say, a number of the firefighters asked me, did you do this? This is really good. This is put together so well. So they really did appreciate the process that went into it. And my instincts were correct. I never heard anyone say, oh, wow, what a great punch this is, or wow, I wish this page had more embellishments. They talked all about the photos, which is what I knew would happen. So simple pages came through for me. I got it done and everyone enjoyed looking at all those memories. And throughout the process over the last 2 months, I kept wondering, is this too many pictures of fire trucks? Well, I'm here to answer that. The answer is no, because I heard so many conversations about fire trucks. And it made my scrapbooker's heart so happy to see these big, tough firemen looking through these scrapbooks, talking about the photos, and remembering all these details and memories. That's what it's all about, isn't it? This project meant a lot of late nights, but it was worth every minute I spent on it. In fact, just today, I walked to the dining room where the scrapbooks are right now and found Nathaniel flipping through them. Yesterday, Nathaniel was in the room next to my office looking at scrapbooks, which he does quite often, and Jeff walked through and saw it, and he said, look at this. That's what these books do. He's in here looking at pictures of his family from the 1940s because it's in this book that's so easy to see, and it's not in some box somewhere. That made me feel good. And it should make you feel good about doing your scrapbooks, because what you're doing is very important. Thank you again for coming along on this ride with me. We've got just one more episode. So tune in next week, and that's when I'm going to do the full album flip through, or make that albums, because you know there's 2. And I'll show you what I have on the 3rd retirement album so far, but it's of course not finished. Maybe I'll just do a follow-up video on that one when I finish it. But I hope you will join me next week, because I really want you to see the finished product. It's good.